tell me why they slaughtered the Jews. Anyway, bring it back. So I'm more interested in speaking to the Saudis. So, I mean, no, put the camera on me. They don't want to be on camera. So yeah, it's on me. So 2 minutes. Can I ask a question? It's a very, very simple question. We'll just go over here. Guys, just turn this around at me. On me, just so we're not getting the background noise from Jonathan. My question's very simple. If a Jew lives under any modern day caliphate, under the Khilafahs today, if there were a Khilafah today, anywhere, and the Jew lived there, he would have to pay a jizya. Yeah? There's no limit to that jizya. It doesn't say anywhere. Okay. Here's the challenge. If you can show me any authentic source, Sahih, Muslim, Bukhari, Quran, anywhere that gives an amount for the jizya, we can talk. So you do your homework. Meanwhile, the Quran is the authority. The Quran is the authority. It's the foundational text of Islam. If it's in the Quran, it's halal. Yeah? So the Quran says, the reason I pay... Stop crying like a little girl.
I'm not. You're the little girl.
If I was to live under a Muslim state today, the Quran says the reason I pay the jizya is for his words, so I could be made to be small. Yeah? Nothing about protection. Sagirun. You tell me what you think the word means. Sagirun. Yeah, what do you think it means? Sahirun. What's it mean?
Hey, where did you get it from?
That's the Quran. Okay, fine.
Don't take it out of context.
Okay, you want the context? You really want the context? Okay.
You can't just fucking say it and be like,
okay.
It's the Quran. Show me what.
Quran. That's very, very easy.
Show me what does it say that.
I love how you guys always do this. Yeah, of course, Google. I haven't memorized the Quran. I'm not an imam. I'm not a sheikh. I just find it really disingenuous because I think you all know
I think you're a hypocrite.
The thing is, they paid a jizya, right? At that time, there were different wars, there were different crusaders coming in, there were different colonizations. So obviously, when they say Savirun, it has a different context. I know what you mean.
Show me the Quran. Show me.
But it has a different context
Show me the
for
Quran.
that time and period, for that time and place.
But why do you pay jizya here? Why don't have your problem here?
Okay, so right. Okay, here we go. You want context. They want context. Fight those who do not believe in Allah. Fight those who do not believe in Allah and the last day, nor comply with what Allah and His Messenger have forbidden, nor embrace the religion of truth from among those who were given scripture until they pay the tax willingly, submitted and fully humble. Every single one of them knew that ayah. Every single one of them knew that ayah. And look at them trying to trip me up. You knew that. You're all munafiq.
Good for the cameras.
Yeah, it was for the cameras.
Yeah, good job.
They said A'da Allah, right? You know what that means? A'da Allah? You know what that means? Enemies of Allah. Against
fighting.
God. Wait,
Okay.
hold on. Do you believe in God?
La ilaha illallah Musa Rasulallah.
Okay, thank you. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Hold on. Do you
No.
Ain't going nowhere.
Do you believe in Jehovah? Do you believe in Jehovah?
But we don't say that word. We say Allah. We say Allah.
Okay, thank you. You believe in Allah, I believe in Allah. We all believe in Allah, right?
100%.
Now, in that Quranic verse, they said A'da Allah. What does that mean?
A'da Allah, the
They
enemies
said,
of
hold
Allah.
on, please. Those who stand against Allah. The funny thing is, we're actually on the same page, but we have different contextual connotations we're coming from. They say A'da Allah. What does that mean? Al-Kafirun. Those who know that Allah is real, those who know that God is real, yet they still take the choice out of their free will to stand against Allah. Those are A'da Allah. So, what do we do? In order to make peace, we have them live under our land. We have them live in peace, but we take the jizya from them.
Why?
Because they choose to go against what we both believe in.
See, this is. I think you strike me as an.
Point. We have what different religion? What different religion would actually have their people live in peace if they go against their God and they go against their people? We still give them shelter. We still give them food. We still give them all they're providing. But we still respect
Okay,
them.
you're blocking the camera.
Even if they are.
It's not on you, but it's on
even
me.
if they are A'da Allah. So, just to end my point, A'da Allah wa hum saghirun. We take what we can from them to benefit them and others. We still respect them. We still respect them because we have peace.
So
it's
again,
a religion of peace.
So again,
that's what it is.
This.
You
So
get my
just for
point.
the camera. So
If you want fight, we do not fight.
So
back.
just to summarize,
If someone fight you, we do not fight or not.
just summarize, so you're not in the camera. Okay, so I've listened to you.
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to bring it back. So you're saying, summarize your point in one sentence.
A'da Allah are those who we're actually going to take the jizya away from. Those who stand against God knowing.
So
knowing.
only those who stand against pay the jizya. Is that your argument?
No.
Thank you.
Enemies of God.
So the enemies of God, he's saying pay the jizya. Yet all of the ulama agree that Jews living under any caliphate, pay the jizya. So this gentleman is trying to say it's only the enemies of Allah and the jizya. I think he's making Islam. I think he's making his own version of Islam up here. So name any sheikh that comes out and says that Jews don't have to pay jizya if they're not an enemy of Allah, or unless you're calling all Jews enemies of Allah.
We can't call all Jews enemies of Allah.
Okay,
Not.
so if Jews are living under any of the caliphates, will they have to pay the jizya?
Yeah.
So he's saying yes, they will have to pay the jizya. So his argument does not stand.
I know. So here's the thing.
Okay, so stop. Can you concede that what you just said was incorrect?
No.
Then name one sheikh. Go there. Show me Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, any tafsir that agrees with you.
Okay. Can you?
No, stop. We're not moving on. I want you to accept that you're either wrong.
I can't accept that because we have.
So he's saying that Jews.
I never said that. I never said that.
You said the only people that pay jizya are the enemies of Allah.
Yes.
So all the Jews in every single caliphate have had to pay the jizya. You're calling Jews.
We have to pay zakat too.
That's what you're saying.
So I think you're lying.
No, you're reading this the wrong way. You're looking.
Let me take that back. Let me take that back. I don't think you're lying. I think you're trying to create an Islam in your mind.
That's what you said. This is your own understanding.
So
I still didn't say my point. I haven't
okay.
even said my point.
On the enemies of Allah.
I said enemies of Allah. You're saying all Jews under all sheikhs. How many sheikhs can you name that actually have those pay for them? They're only a couple of sheikhs, aren't they? They're only a number of sheikhs. Thing is, Saudi Arabia is huge. We still have Jews living in secret synagogues doing their prayers to underground communities.
Why are they secret? Listen, we have Jews in secret. Why are they secret?
They're still doing their thing. They're still doing their thing, aren't they? And that's not the only thing. Hindus are doing it that way. Devotees of Krishna are doing it that way. If you don't believe me, I've been to underground temples just to see how secretive and how compelling you are. Yes,
So just
wait.
So just before we move on, he's saying that Jews can practice their faith in Saudi Arabia, but they have to be in secret synagogues. If they're in secret, that's not halal. That's not kosher. If you're hiding, if you're not hiding, it's because it's not.
As long as you're doing your thing, that's none of our business.
The reason they're not public is Jews are banned from practicing their faith in the Hijaz.
Okay, so why would you want to come to the Hijaz then?
See, thank you. We finally have some truth.
Why would you
Okay.
want to
Why?
If that's your
Did my great grandfather go there? Ibrahim alayhi salam.
Yeah.
Then I want to go there. Is it a place of Tawheed?
Sure,
Is it a place of monotheism? Then I want to go there.
Now, back to your point of jizya. We pay zakat, we pay taxes.
What's the limit for zakat? He's a liar, this one. This one
It's
lies.
more.
2.5.
You seem like a
And
logical
what's jizya? And what's jizya?
It's
You're not hearing
239.
Liar. There is no limit on jizya. They are lying to you. They think we're idiots.
As Muslim, we pay more zakat than jizya.
Show me.
And we have to
At the
fight.
time of Muhammad, the Jews had to give 50% of 50%. 50%.
To our point.
Okay.
You seem like a
Goodbye.
logical person.
I
You
am.
actually seem like it. So I beg you to please stop screaming over us and hear me out.
Okay.
Because you bring
All right.
up-
Okay. So, we've got to stop. Stop. Okay. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
No more shouting.
Yalla.
Normal again.
Yeah.
Listen.
yeah.
Yeah. Khalas. Listen.
Khalas.
We will. Me and you talk calmly. A nice conversation. No distractions. He's not going to jump in. He's not going to jump
They
in.
can help. They can help. Right?
No, one-on-one. Otherwise, I'm going to shout over you because I've got lots of
That
people.
doesn't make any
But
sense.
no, it's me and you.
cannot have one-on-one.
Are you? Why can't you?
Turn off the camera.
The camera's on me. The camera's on me.
Show. Just for the cameras. He's not speaking like a
If
person.
you're telling the truth, you can tell the truth.
Like this.
If you're lying, you're hiding from the camera.
Nobody speaks
Why
like
you have
this.
to hide?
He's just making a scene.
Okay, so
Do one-on-one.
Let's see how he talks.
okay, I will talk civilly. I will. The camera.
Back off.
Guys, we're going to calm it down. I will speak. It's on me. They can be on me. They won't be on you. If you turn around that way, they won't even see your face. So,
So
okay.
on the point of jizyas, right? It's actually a mandatory clause on every single male in the country. Whether you're a boy, whether you're a man, whether you're lower class, whether you're upper class, whether you're middle class, jizya is a must on everyone. Even I, who hasn't been living in Saudi Arabia for the past 4 or 5 years.
Jizya is not a must on everyone.
Jizya is on everyone. Jizya is on
So
every single
jizya
one.
is
It's on
for
every
you, not for the
single one.
camera.
That's the thing.
Jizya is exclusively a tax which is levied on the people of the book. And the reason it's levied on them, literally
Every Saudi
Quran
citizen-
920, we've just
every
literally
Saudi
read it.
citizen. No,
So-
every Saudi citizen.
Zakat is zakat, not jizya.
Zakat and no, it's zakat and tax
Okay,
and jizya.
again,
We pay more than you guys do.
again,
We
for
pay
your
more than you
benefit.
guys do. That's the point.
Fight-
We pay way more than you guys do, right?
Fight
You don't
those-
get clause.
They don't
Fight-
have to fight. They don't
Fight
have to
those who do not believe in Allah and the last day,
Yes.
nor comply with what Allah and His
Yes.
Messenger have forbidden, nor embrace the religion of truth from among those who were given the scripture. From among those who were given the scripture, the Jews and the Christians, until they pay the tax willingly, submitting fully and humble. That's not zakat. Zakat is a separate tax. Muslims pay zakat.
Yes.
The people of the book pay the
But
jizya.
you don't have to fight.
So sorry, because you were saying that Muslims pay jizya. That's why I'm
we have to
confused.
fight.
We have prescribed duties, right? So there is a war going on right now, and we had to go. They would literally take us by force, not out of will or humility. But for you guys, we provide shelter and we provide protection, and we still have you live under our land.
So,
and
what-
You don't have to pay that.
And the funny thing is, it's not even you live peacefully. Those who are going against
We're,
Allah,
we're having the
meaning
calm
willingly
conversation.
go
We're having the mic
against Allah.
calm conversation.
يدفع الجزية بس لازم يشارك بالجيش.
You ready?
Right. Oh, so the alternative thing is about jizya. You don't even have to actually pay jizya.
Happy, just so the camera's on me.
You don't
sure.
even have to pay jizya, but you'd have to fight in the war.
So,
If there was war.
show me anywhere in the Quran
There is.
or the
It's
Hadith
not
that says
just
that.
Quran, it's
There's Sharia
Quran
law.
and Sunnah.
So show me the Sunnah anywhere for any of them
Sharia law,
Hadith.
brother. Sharia law, Sharia law.
So this
Hold on,
astaghfirullah one at a time.
Sharia law right now. Trust me, my parents have been through a divorce. I've seen Sharia law. We've been to court. We've had the money loans.
Yeah.
Sharia law literally says today, if you don't have to pay, you don't have to pay jizya. But at least you're gonna have to adhere to different.
Sorry, your parents were asked to pay jizya.
Not our parents. For those who are Saudi.
That
right?
we-
For those who pay jizya.
So again, so what the Saudi ulama choose to
You have to
do.
listen to my point.
So I am listening. I'm responding.
It's not
I'm
us. I'm speaking
responding.
about your people who say they have to. They have to.
So
Some of them, if they didn't choose to pay jizya, they don't have to.
so again, to clarify, just to be very explicitly clear,
Yeah.
you're saying
Yeah.
that the jizya is a protection money, yes?
Yes. Yes.
Thank
Good.
you. Now that's what many, when you debate any Muslim today in the park, this is the argument they'll bring.
Yeah.
Now, when I want to understand the Quran, when I want to understand Islam, I don't go to random people, and however knowledgeable they may be, I go to the foundational text of Islam.
Yes.
I read what the Quran says, I read the tafsir, I read the supporting, and so
the
what?
scholar says. And what the scholar says.
Hear me out. So the Quran, do we agree that the concept of protection is not in the Quran? No. I asked you, instead of answering a question I didn't ask,
And the
answer the
Quran-
question I did ask.
Not everything in
wait,
Quran.
you're
Not
saying-
everything
No,
in Quran. Salat, how to pray, it's not in Quran, it's in
The
Sunnah.
Quran tells you why the jizya is paid.
No.
I believe I'm more of a Muslim than you because I'm.
You can't say that.
القرآن يقول شو لازم نعمل
Yeah.
السنة بتشرح
He's saying the Quran tells you what to do, and then through the Sunnah, it's
how
do
to do it and why to do
That's
it.
the thing. I think you can.
So-
I think you can say that. That's true.
I agree. So if you go to Ibn Kathir, if you go to any of the tafsir, if you go to Bukhari,
Right.
Sahih Muslim,
Right.
anywhere, it says what I'm saying, not what you're saying. And if
Okay.
you believe otherwise, show me.
Okay.
Show me a textual source that says what you're saying.
So that's the thing is, like, you bring up good points, right? But you're saying Sahih al-Bukhari, you're saying Rashid Mursal, you're bringing up, these are like specific schools of thought that have existed. But now the Sunni has like many different schools of thought these days.
I
right?
agree. So I'm
And they
asking,
agree
where's
on-
your source?
Right. But I'm saying, you're bringing up these
Joseph, I
different
love you,
points.
man. He is my man. Very nice. Keep your good work,
They're bringing
man.
up these
Thank you,
different-
Akhi. Thank
You're
you.
sticking to like these 2 or 3 different schools of
Yeah.
thought. Saying, this is what it is, this is what it is. The thing is, we can agree.
So I don't know what madhab, I don't know what school you belong to.
I know.
But I would ask you just show me the source. That's all I'm asking.
Right.
Not what he says.
I believe in
Arabic.
Sufis. I believe in the
catch you
Sufis.
in Arabic and translate
And then
it
I'll be
now.
able, if it's a hadith, I can get it in English.
I can translate it.
What's your name?
Yusuf.
Abdullah.
Abdullah, it's a great name.
Yes.
Servant of Allah.
Servant of Allah. I think we can agree on one point though. He's a great debater, he's a logical man. I think we can both agree that we're praying to the same God, right?
I agree.
We have the same godly taste for
I agree.
We're trying to be pure.
I agree.
Now, for the sake of debate, we can disagree on these things,
I
but at
agree.
the end of the day, we would actually go against our points if we were to disagree and then go against each other.
So I don't want to go against you. This is my whole thing.
Yeah.
My thing is Israel Palestine. That's why I come here.
right.
Like my family's in Israel. They face an existential threat, and the religious aspect of the conflict is interwoven completely. And so when someone comes along, like your lady, I don't know, I'm not saying lady friend, like your wife, but your female friend who was with you, says that this is our land, I have to explain why we no longer want to live under Muslims, because it wasn't great. Under the Abbasids, we had the way this thing.
Another topic. We are in Jizya. It's another topic.
So the reason I gave Jizya is an example of why we don't want to live under you.
So would you say we can coexist? Would you say that?
I would say the best coexistence Jews and Muslims have had is Muslims living under Israel today, where you have
But
Muslims
that's-
in the
but
government.
But that beats the whole point of living under and living over. That's a dominance hierarchy.
So I agree with I agree with that.
That's-
So that
but
we should be
that's-
equal. That's what I'm saying.
it should be
so
like that.
If Islam came along and said we paid the same tax, not zakat for you, jizya for you,
Okay, yeah.
and if you could become the caliph, the khalifa, if you could become it, then I'd be like 100%. I have no issue.
It's like our.
But that utopia you're
2
talking
minutes.
about doesn't really
I
exist.
agree it doesn't exist, and this is why I'm saying that Jews need their own state, because many of the Khulafa, when Jews lived under them, it was good, and many times it was bad. It depended who, just like for the Muslims. So like under the Abbasids, it was terrible for the Jews. Like it was not good.
بس بقول هذا بس بسمعني انا مش
If you want to make sure you're not on the camera, just turn that way around.
We're saying we're not necessarily agreeing by saying yes. I'm just listening to you.
Okay.
لولا الاسلام لولا نحن ما اخذناهم من اسبانيا على ماروكو كان ما في شيء اسمه يهود اليوم. نحن اللي سحبناهم على ماروكو. نحن اللي
Yeah. So what he's trying to say is that because of some of the wars and the crusades that we've had as Muslims, for that reason the Jewish lands exist today. But I think my
I
point,
disagree, but this is a type of argument.
But to conclude our point today,
Yeah.
I just think we both agree that different Israeli governments coming in and killing innocent children, innocent women from their small villages doesn't really help the whole movement.
So
It doesn't
I don't
really
think
help
that's
it
what
take control.
happens. But so we
But
have a
that's-
different.
but that's the thing,
Like I would say, for instance, you're Saudi, yeah.
It's been going on
What's
for 100 years. It's been going on for 100 years.
Saudi and
nothing's changed.
So take Saudi,
They're
but-
still killing innocent people, innocent children. I think we can both agree that's not the way.
So,
for sure.
so I don't think that happens. That's what I'm saying. All right,
But you're
is
saying
Saudi
it doesn't happen.
killing
Open up the video.
is Saudi killing innocent Yemenis?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Conflict is more complex than what you're
Yeah, but
presenting.
what about those women and children who didn't have anything to do with the
So
war? They don't
any
even
women,
know any better.
so
Why should they be killed? It doesn't
any
make
civilian.
sense.
No, that's a tragedy of any war. So in
No.
Yemen, children and women are dying today. Yes.
People
Aki,
are dying
listen to
every-
what I'm saying.
they're dying every
Instead
day.
of just
They're dying every
reacting,
single day.
listen to what I'm saying. Do you want us to move over a bit this way? Right. It'll be on me, don't worry. So
They're dying every single day, brother. You know
So,
what
so
I mean?
this is just so the cameras.
So at least
So
it's
what I'm saying is very simple. In Yemen, innocent women and children are killed. In Italy, 2 minutes. In Israel, innocent women and children are killed. Amongst the Palestinians, innocent women and children are killed. That is one of the tragedies of any war. Anywhere there is a war, innocent people die, and that's the tragedy of war. If it was just soldiers killing each other, let them do what they do.
yeah.
But the tragedy of war is the innocent get killed.
Yeah.
Now, what I would say, if you look at the death toll, tens of thousands of people have been killed in Yemen since the start of the war, compared to a few hundred in Israel Palestinians. And the Palestinians overwhelmingly that are killed in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict are carrying out terror attacks. Like there's a video that's gone viral a couple of days ago of an Israeli soldier looking like he's executing a Palestinian. if you watch what really happened, and you can see the videos, the Palestinians stabbed the soldier in the face and then got shot. If you try to stab a soldier in the face, you're gonna get killed. That's what and so whereas in Yemen, they're
To be
just
fair,
bombing Yemen.
Netanyahu literally said, "We'll kill all of them," and they asked like, "Did you?"
Where
wanna kill
did-
all
where
of them?
Netanyahu's
And
never said that.
I swear to God, in an interview. Wait, hold on. And then he said, like, "Why wouldn't people care?" He's like, "Yeah, no, America wouldn't care. The people wouldn't care. We're just gonna do our thing and we're gonna go in." By the way, there are small villages that really have nothing to do with the war. They have a few hundred people living in over the course of the years. But Israeli soldiers and armies are going in, terrorizing those women and children.
Which village?
Even in Ramadan, I promise you, I swear, they went into the mosques and they literally killed all those people while they were praying
Which
Tarawih,
mosque?
while they were having their
Which
suhoor.
mosque?
Different mosques all throughout
Because
Palestine.
I know the
can't name
conflict
specific
inside
names.
out.
There's way too
Name
many
the
of them
village, name
happening.
okay, I'm going to tell you, Akhi, what I find difficult about debating with you.
Yeah.
Is you say stuff but you're unable to substantiate it. So when we were talking about the Quran and the Hadith, you didn't bring source, and now you're saying there's these atrocities happening in villages and mosques, and I'm saying,
you
If you want
all the
source,
sources and evidence.
talk to him. Talk to Ali. If you want to
Ali Dawah runs away from
point
me.
is-
I talk to Ali all the time. He's a coward.
The point is,
He's a coward.
the point is-
He's a coward. He's
the
a
viewers,
clown.
The viewers, everyone who's watching this, you pull up a video, you just write Palestine-Israel war. You will find millions of them terrorizing, literally. Well, not millions, hundreds of thousands.
So Akhi, you don't know me, and that's not your fault. Well, I run the largest pro-Israel organisation in the UK. So but this is basically my field of expertise.
And the thing is, like, by the way, we're not
So
mentioning...
did you hear what I said?
Yeah, but we're not mentioning specific names for reasons of confidentiality as well, right?
Say that
For
again.
reasons of confidentiality, we're not mentioning all the names that we should.
You're not
Because we can disagree
mentioning
on
the names of the villages,
we can-
what?
No. Names of scholars, because we can disagree on different
Okay, fine. Okay. It's really difficult. It's like me saying, yeah, I know that Islam says you have to kill all the kuffar. No. I know it doesn't. Listen, Aki, listen.
Show me.
Oh my God, do you understand what a hypothetical? Oh my God, stop. Shh. Listen, and don't react. Listen and don't react. If I were to say that Islam says kill all the kuffar, you would say, show me where.
Yeah.
And if I were to say, I'm not going to do that because different scholars have different interpretations, you would say, you're not showing me because you're lying. Yeah? Because Islam does not say kill all the kuffar. Nowhere does it say that. And if I were to then go to say, strike the neck of the disbeliever, you would say, okay, here's what that means. Yes? And you would bring a source, and you would go to the tafsir, and you wouldn't care about the ambiguity. You wouldn't care that different scholars disagree. You would show me the scholars that support your point, yes? Not true. Okay, so I say then, okay, let's explore that. Islam, okay, you want me to go to the Quran?
I'll show you.
I can show you where the Quran says strike the neck of the disbeliever. Does the Quran say strike the neck of the disbeliever? Yeah.
So that's the thing, like, what we're saying is like there are millions of Christians still living in Syria, Lebanon.
And what's happening to the Christians in Syria are getting slaughtered by Muslims.
They're not getting slaughtered.
Astaghfirullah. We live in different universes. Like there was a civil war in Syria.
Getting slaughtered right now are the Palestinian women and children, and they have been being slaughtered for over 100 years. Nothing has
First and
changed.
foremost,
Nothing
Mr.
has
Saudi
changed.
Arabia, you should be
Nothing has
saying thank you to us because you're begging us for help constantly every time.
I think. Thank you for your point, but thank you for the debate. I really appreciate it. Salam alaikum.
Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should guide you to the right path and guide you to
You too,
haq.
brother, and you too. Salam alaikum.
So, we're debating with some Saudi brothers and sisters, and they try to present a version of Islam that exists only in their imagination. They try to say that the jizya was only imposed on Jews and Christians that were enemies of Islam. Anyone who knows anything about the history of Islam and the people of the book living under Islam knows that the tax was levied on all of them. The reason, if you want to understand why the tax was levied on the Jews and the Muslims, you go to the Quran, and that's where it will tell you it was imposed on them to humble them, to humiliate them, to belittle them, and they even admitted that's what the word meant. So the conversation was, in summary, a Jew going to the Quran, showing what the Quran said and why it wasn't so great for Jews to live under these conditions, and then some Muslim apologists making up explanations, making up their own religion to try and say that's not the reality. But to their defense, all of them were civil, they weren't aggressive, they weren't violent, it was a civil conversation. And I believe they have this real difficult reality to live in where they know what I'm saying is right, but they know that it's unpalatable and it does not reflect well on Islam.
So, Joseph, what do you think Muslims like to use taqiyya to defend Islam?
So I think one of the biggest challenges that we face in the park is if we were having this conversation in any Islamic state, and I don't mean Daesh, I mean just any Islamic state, they would have no issue saying what Islam actually teaches. Here, it's an unpalatable reality because they are a minority living amongst the people of the book, and it's not very wise to say what it actually teaches. And so, but I think there are many genuine, sincere people in the park, and I don't think those people were insincere. I just think it was an uncomfortable truth which they weren't happy admitting on camera.